Good morning, everyone. Super excited. It's Fantabulous Friday. We're going to talk all about health and wellness this morning, but good morning, everyone. This is Carol Sue, aka Naughty Boss, back in my home office with two
Sistas. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Janis, aka Wellness Diva 5.0 with the frozen face. My video is frozen. Can you hear me okay, though?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
By the way, I should take a screenshot of it because I have this look on my face like, what the flip is going on here? So
Well, you know, that happens. Technology is one of those fickle things sometimes. And we're going to talk about, you know, today is the day that you celebrate your wins. And, you know, we're going to talk about a lot of different things that can impact your health and wellness, which we already know outside entities can do that. They can place havoc, they can add stress to your life. Block the noise. That's the best way to just put it in a nutshell. Block the noise, focus on what is in your control. And I was chatting with someone yesterday, and you know, when I was talking to her about my gut health, she had asked, well, how long have you been doing that? I said, well, it's been probably about 6 years, a little over 6 years, maybe 6.5 years. And she proceeded to talk about all the different vitamins that she takes, and there was quite a few of them. Excuse me, multiple boxes, multiple, you know, capsules, whatever. And I said, well, that's my issue with a lot of that. Number one is I have to have simple, you know, I travel, you know, I'm on the go. I don't want to be a slave to pill bottles everywhere. That would drive me nuts. And I think my first introduction into 1,000 different bottles was our great Uncle Joe, who bought every vitamin that you could imagine. And literally, when I say literally, he had one counter, that's all it was vitamins. And I thought to myself, A, how long does it take you to take all this stuff? Number two, the clutter piece to it. There was like, because he had giant bottles, small bottles, wide bottles, thin bottles. And I thought, wow, what, you know, and that was my perception of, as you age, you needed all these bottles to kind of live. And I remember seeing that. I had to have been maybe 6 years old, 7 years old, and it stayed with me. And obviously we know that, you know, if you understand your body and the way the mechanics work, you know that you cannot fill it from a nutritional standpoint with just food alone. You do need help. You do need that supplementation. You do those extra nutrients. Just because our food, the way it's processed, is not processed the same that it was years ago, or I should say there's more processing, there's more additives, more fillers. So I was kind of talking to her about that as she was talking to me about all her different bottles. And so she, you know, asked me some questions, and she said, well, if you were to tell somebody, and I get this question often, the main difference of why you feel what you do is more impactful, more simple, but you're telling me it's better quality, right? I said, absolutely, it's better quality. And so I went to, and I thought to myself, gosh, I get that question all the time, and I'm sure you do too, Jan, because that was a salad slaughter. That was a word slaughter, because you know, so the cool thing about that, I thought to myself about that, and so the question came into mind. Well, do you talk about your vitamins? And she goes, no. Why would I talk about my vitamins? I said, that's a great question. I talk about them because I feel them. I feel better, and I want to impact other people to feel better. So when you say watch a movie, you think it's great, you share it with people, right? She goes, yes. And I said, if you go out to that nice dinner and you have, you know, it's an amazing chef, amazing meal, whatever it was, you share that, right? And she said, yes. She goes, but why would I share my vitamins? I just take them. I said, that's the difference. You're not passionate about your vitamins. You're not passionate about how it makes you feel. And I said, the difference between you and me is I'm passionate about it because I feel them. I feel good. I feel a change, not only from the inside, which is reflected on the outside, but I see other people the same way. I would have never, ever in my wildest dreams would have thought that I was stuck to something for over 6.5 years. So then I went on to explain to her, I said, the reason and the big difference is our 3 steps. It's actually one product. A lot of people, they don't get that. They hear the 3 steps They think, oh, it's cumbersome. Number one is you can't get any more simple than what we do.
No brainer.
It's a no-brainer. Because we're actually with the 3 steps, which is only one product. A lot of people say, well, what does that mean? Well, they broke it up on purpose. They made it into 3 steps because the first step is your digestive enzymes, which actually opens up kind of the airwaves of the gut, gets rid of the junk, but opens it up for the absorption. The huge piece to over the counter is you're actually only absorbing maybe, and I say maybe a third of the product that you just bought, where our absorption rate is closer to 98%. So while you are buying, from whatever vitamin store, generic store, regular grocery store, department store, wherever, you're actually, for lack of a better term, you're peeing out most of your vitamins. Your body doesn't even have time to absorb them, number one. And the reason why, because it's filled with fillers. We don't have fillers. So the digested enzymes open up and they prepare the gut to actually absorb step 2, which is the lifestyle mix. Now, the cool thing about our lifestyle mix, it's micronized. It's in this almost like baby powder formula. So it's already broken down. So it gets into your system quicker. So it's easier to absorb, that you actually absorb the product, like close to 98% of it, versus the other stuff that is not broken down. And it's got fillers on top of whatever the ingredient that they're putting in. So ours get into our system quicker. And then the third step, which is this, I printed in a patch, and they've got all different, styles and formulas and colors and all that happy jazz. So definitely a fashion accessory. This is time release. So now this is passing the gut, and it's time release. And it's actually going through the skin. It's derma fusion technology. So it's going through the skin, bypasses the gut, and this is time released. So it enters into your system of clean energy, antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, but it's natural. So you get, instead of drinking that cup of Java, which a lot of people still like to drink their Java, and we try to encourage that. Eventually you may not even feel the need for, but some people still like a cup, and we don't tell them no. I don't, because I know the way coffee's processed, and that's a personal choice for me, and I don't need it anymore, because apparently, while I did enjoy the taste of coffee, I really like the buzz of it, right? But the problem with the buzz of it is then there's a crash time. And that's the part I hated about coffee. So what did I do? I'd reach for a Diet Coke, I'd reach for another coffee, and it was a vicious hamster wheel. I didn't want to live my life like that. Plus, I was spending a lot of money between the coffee and the Diet Coke and iced teas and all that other garbage. So that is the huge difference. It has to do with our absorption rate, because we actually feel them. And the difference between why we feel the way we feel and, want to share with people is because we're passionate about it. We love how we feel. We know we feel better. We know it's reflected on the outside, because I actually did a kind of a bunch of different pictures from when I was like in my 40s and 50s to where I am now. And, for most people, they would say, well, you look more vibrant, more alive now, 20 years later than you did in your 40s. Why is that? Because I'm taking care of myself from the inside, which is reflecting on the outside. So that is really the huge difference. Jan, I know you want to add into that, but that was it was just a funny, not a funny topic, but a lot of people do ask that question. And I kind of take for granted that they really don't understand why. And disclaimer, I don't take vitamins, or my main purpose for taking vitamins and supplements was to feel something. I just knew my body desperately needed them. We all do. But the bonus, to feel better. What do you think, Jan?
Well, right. And, the problem with, and we need to take a step back for a second. I think what a lot of people don't realize is when you take a pill, vitamin supplementation, or whatever it may be, obviously the purposes of this conversation is vitamins, of course. Right. You take it with pretty much water, you swallow it, obviously, it travels down to your gut. There's a breakdown process that has to happen before the absorption part begins. So the breakdown process for many people is quite a few hours. So during that time, when it's that vitamin you are taking is breaking down, as you said, you're already peeing some of it out while the breakdown process is still happening. So you're not getting the full benefit of the vitamin. So it goes through, and typically it's anywhere from, I think it's 6 to 8 or 8 to 10 hours. So if I'm taking a vitamin and I have to wait 8 hours before I feel good, or maybe I don't feel good, like, to me, what is the point of doing that? But the thing with Thrive is, what I love about Thrive, simplicity, of course. It's a no-brainer. It's very easy. And then you're done. Now, you would mention coffee. So, everyone knows I love coffee. Now, I will share with everyone, I have tried different products since Carol Sue began her journey. In fact, I remember very specifically when she came over and, oh, you've got to try this thing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. I listened. I'm, being in the wellness industry, I'm very interested in what works and what doesn't work, and why I want to know why someone is passionate about a product. Because to me, it's not about selling, it's about sharing. That's the bottom line, because you're not going to buy something for me. I want to share something with you. So there is a huge difference there. Well, eventually, a few days later, I decided to try it. And I have to say, I was obviously pleasantly surprised. Now, at that time in my life, I go through different phases. I obviously love coffee. I was drinking 6 to 8 cups of coffee a day, plus an occasional Diet Coke. Eventually, I didn't want any coffee. And then, you go through different phases where, maybe I maybe have 1 to 2 cups a day now, because I do love the taste of coffee. I don't drink coffee for the buzz or for the effect. I want to supply my body as much as possible with all the good stuff, because the bottom line is, your body really is a temple, and you have to nurture and take care of it, just like you do your mindset, just like you do with anything else. And I always like to make the comparison with our cars. We put gas in our cars because we got to go somewhere. Why not put something in your body that's going to do your body good, that's simple, that you're going to feel your vitamins? Not many people feel their vitamins. Are like, huh, what?
No, and the other key piece too that we want to make sure we let everyone know is, everyone is different. We talk about it all the time. We look different. Our gut health is different. So for some people, they may feel something day 1. Other people maybe day 10. I was actually, my girlfriend Melanie picked me up, picked John and I up at the airport. And so I said, so how's it going? Because I think she's on about day 10 now. No, take that back. It's been a little over 2 weeks. And she said, the first couple of days, I thought I was feeling something, but I really wasn't sure. She said, oh my God, day 15 or day 16, I woke up. She says, now I understand what you're talking about, mental clarity. She says, I wake up, I'm singing. That's not me. I'm usually grumpy. It takes me for a while to get my head on straight. And I said, that's the cool piece, is what Thrive is going to do for Jan is going to be totally different for what it's going to do for me. Everyone is different. So while we say we feel our vitamins, for many people, it may take 30 days. It may take 60 days. It may take 2 days. We don't know, because we don't know what your insides are, nor do you, by the way. And no one does, unless you go get your blood test daily. And who wants to do that? Needles, forget about it. So that is the key piece, is everyone is different. And what frequently occurs, and I'm going to hand that back to you to talk about your, why you went from 6 cups to basically only 1, is a lot of people don't realize too, even if it's a food or a drink that you crave, right? Usually a craving is a direct correlation between a nutritional deficiency. So if you're craving certain food groups, it means you're lacking in certain vitamins. So when people say, well, you know what? And I was a perfect example of drinking 3, 4, 5 cups of iced coffee, iced tea, Diet Coke. And all of a sudden, I just, not even knowingly, I just stopped. I didn't crave it anymore. And I couldn't quite grasp that piece when I started my Thrive experience. But once I got to understand the product better and understand, I never knew, and I was always a big vitamin person to begin with, but I never knew that a craving, a food craving, or, a food category craving was really due to a lack of a certain piece. So what Thrive is doing is it says, oh, she's lacking in these vitamins, he's lacking in those. The Thrive experience will fill that gap, fill that nutritional. Now all of a sudden you don't crave that food. It doesn't mean you still don't enjoy that food or that drink. You just don't crave it anymore. It's the formula.
Right. And you said that correctly, because what people don't understand, that's your body. When you have a craving, that's your body signal that you are lacking a specific nutrient. For instance, if you're craving chocolate, you're lacking magnesium, I believe it is. I'm almost positive it is.
I'm pretty sure it is too.
So
we have a whole excuse me, a whole list of food groups and what you're lacking in.
right. And so think about that for a moment. Your body will send you signals. Sometimes we don't know what that means, but here's like a little quiz for you to do. Obviously we're going into the Labor Day weekend. If you're, out and about and, let's say you're doing your grocery shopping and you have a craving for something salty, kind of take notice of that. And, if you have a moment, look it up, maybe you're waiting in the checkout line, look it up on your, that's your body's way of telling you, hey, you're lacking in this nutrient. And, that's why you're craving certain things. Cravings, oh my God, I could talk forever about cravings, but that's kind of the gist of it. Now, for me, I did take a DNA type of, not a DNA test like Ancestry, but a DNA of all my nutrients and micronutrients. And I know for a fact that my body takes a very long time absorbing vitamins. That was part of this DNA test. I have it here somewhere. And I knew without a doubt that, and again, I've tried different products and here I am back with Thrive. So what does that tell you? This product works. Now, for me, when I first started my journey way back when, I started it on a Friday, and on that Sunday is when I felt it, because I was helping Gary carry. It occurred to me when I was lifting and going up the back stairs, sheetrock. Sheetrock's very heavy. Gary,
Right.
like, what is going on with you? You're like, Wonder Woman. I'm like, let's bring up some more sheetrock. And he says, are you sure? Like, yeah, let's do it. And then it occurred to me, now, we can't stress this enough. It is different for everyone. I thought that I was very lucky that, on day 3, I was like, and here with my most recent, getting back with Thrive, I think it was like day 5. I'm like,
Yeah, you do it. You get that kind of that quick step about you, and you have this. And when we talk about energy and mental clarity, I always, again, people say, well, what do you mean by that? So I said, well, imagine that you're outdoors and you've got your glasses on, and just life's going on, and you decide to switch your glasses up. Maybe you needed a new prescription, a stronger prescription, or something that was really going to add value to seeing more clarity. And you change your glasses, and all of a sudden you're noticing. A lot of people actually notice that when they get LASIK surgery, that all of a sudden they are more in tune, or their eyes are more in tune of clarity of, like a leaf on a tree. They see the detail more, or they're just, wow, like I can't believe how good I see. It's kind of the same analogy when your body goes through all of a sudden, for me, it has to do with, my joints, my muscles feeling better than they have ever had, that I can sustain longer physical activity than I used to. When you talk about being, I look back to where I was in my 40s, and that was probably, I would say, my uh, really bloat years. I call it the bloat years, probably like from 42 to, mid 50s. And a lot of that had to do with probably a lot of sodium that, I was consuming. In addition to, the food sources that, and not getting, just that, midlife, just sluggish feeling, not really getting movement in, which we always talk about, that's a key piece. The other key factor to being a thriver is complementing the Thrive experience. So we want to make sure that you don't do these 3 steps and you do nothing, like it's a miracle worker. Because let's be real, there's a lot of commercials and alerts out there. Try this product and in 10 days, you're going to see this transformation. That's not realistic and it's not sustainable, number one. Number two, this is a lifestyle. Now, it doesn't mean you're eating like a rabbit. You're only eating celery and carrots. I'm grateful that, here I was away from my environment, my normal environment, for over 2 weeks, or just about, it was just 2 weeks. What did that consist of? Eating out quite a bit. And we know that even if you're ordering healthy choices at restaurants, they're pretty much filled with a lot of sodium, which is like my weak point for my body. You're trying things that you don't necessarily, or, going back home, I'm eating the foods that I just absolutely love that say don't taste the same, or I can't get down south. So when you travel, for me, I didn't get as much movement in as I wanted to. That's on me. So I was excited to know that I gained 1.9 pounds being away from home for 2 weeks. Now, am I celebrating that I gained the 1.9 pounds? Yeah, because it wasn't more than that. But the point being is I was consistent with my lifestyle, with taking my 3 steps. The missing piece was I wasn't complementing the life Thrive experience with eating good, balanced food. I was eating not the best. Cheeseburgers, which I saved up because I wasn't eating, I only eat beef so many times a month. So I went over my limit by 1. I didn't eat chicken wings. I was happy about that. But I ate French fries. For some reason, French fries up north taste better. So I had several helpings of French fries. I'm not going to lie there. I had a couple glasses of wine. I haven't been drinking wine. So I wasn't, doing my normal routine. The point being that you can do the Thrive experience, not eat like a rabbit. You can still eat, but we complement it. So in other words, if I know that I'm going to have that sweet treat, I'm not going to eat it every single day. So I'm not depriving my body of the things that I enjoy. I'm just going to balance it. And when you balance your lifestyle with whatever nutritional, and in this case, our great, that we can't say enough about it, our nutritional gut health, good things do happen. You start getting your body into that good cycle. But the huge piece for me with our nutritional gut program versus others, and it's not to disrespect anyone else's product, like you, I've tried different things. I had 6 months where I took a 6-month break to kind of detox my body totally. And I was intermittently trying different things just to, I love to see what's out there. And there was not one thing that provided simplicity, premium, and that I felt it and that would travel with me. I don't want to be taking different things. There's something about our lifestyle mix that you can't, or a protein shake, however you want to word it, that you just can't beat it because it's so micronized and you instantly feel it. In addition, the one piece we didn't talk about is our lifestyle mix has over 17 servings of probiotics and prebiotics, which that is essential for that healthy bacteria in your gut, because there's a good bacteria and there's a bad bacteria. We want to emphasize the good. And the more that you complement the good, you keep the bad down, because it's inevitable you're going to get both. But you want to keep reproducing and making sure that that healthy bacteria that's in your gut, that our bodies needs. So, I mean, I can't say enough about that. Jan, what else you want to add to it? Because I mean, we're gonna be actually talking a lot more about it, not only from the aspect of the product. We're going to get into talking about some of our premium products that are also great additives, but also about the business side of it as well.
Oh, absolutely. And, I am what I would call a repeat offender. I just want to be very clear about that. Yes, I've said this many times, but yes, I have tried different products. Yes, I have been with different companies. So again, the big question is, why would I, number one, even consider being a part of this company again? Because it's not just a company, it's sharing an experience, it's sharing the simplicity. And what I came up with, what as we were chatting about this, is that we need the opportunity and we are worth giving ourselves a little TLC. So the T, tune in, the L, listen, the C, connect. Now,
Love that.
yeah, we are all a work in progress. All of our guts do not operate the same way. A lot of similarities, but when you give yourself that opportunity to say, you know what, I'm worth it, I'm going to give myself some TLC, think of how good that will be, how it will affect not only your life, but others' lives as well. Like, for instance, are you a busy mom? Are you starting to pull your hair out because school is starting, or maybe it's already started, and you just need a little TLC for yourself? Call me. I'm not going to sing that song but just give yourself the opportunity to. This is why we love sharing this product. It's because we are that passionate about it. Now, you may say, well, we've all heard negative things about different MLMs. Like, don't, if you feel that you have to research something, by all means do that. But, if you want some different product knowledge, that we can provide you with different PDFs that might help you with that, let us know. Go to our website, of course, leave us a voice message, and either Carol Sue or myself will be happy to send you that information. And remember, part of the self-care process of giving yourself that TLC is really, be real with yourself. What are you spending at the vitamin shop? What are you spending at Cumbies every Friday morning?
Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, any of those places. I think a lot of people don't. You just naturally go to, especially if you're running around like crazy, take out and you go through the drive-through all the time. But a lot of people don't really. And, in the very early stages of becoming a thriver, I did just that. I did a financial analysis of like what we were spending on Keurig, because at the time it was between Keurig coffee and Dunkin' Donuts. And then I added I was one that liked all the flavored creamers. So then I added the creamers, I added the sugar. John liked sugar. I liked, substitute sweeteners. So I started adding up all that, and then the Diet Coke, the Diet Snapple, like all these different products that I used at the time. And I added them up, and we were spending, I have to actually dig it out, that I figured out daily and monthly, but it was like, well over $400, $500 on this stuff. And you don't realize how much it really does add up. And especially today, when we were up north, I think I ordered once, I like a good organic black tea with my organic local honey. I will have, 1 cup of that, not every day, but, today was a day that, I love the flavor of it. But we were out to dinner, and I think I ordered a tea. I was in the mood for a tea. It was like $5 for 1 cup. And I thought to myself, I would love to do another analysis of someone that spends that kind of money and say, look at, you realize how much you spend daily versus if you had a good nutritional gut health program, you would actually save money. So I actually, when I did that financial analysis, we actually saved money because we weren't spending as much. We were buying our Thrive product. And then of course, we will chat about how you can thrive for free in one of our next segments next week. But we're all going to kind of break it down into different pieces. But today we really want to show you, so you really understood there is a difference between over-the-counter vitamins, multiple jars versus 3 steps, that little capsules, lifestyle mix, DFT, you're done for the day. The whole process takes maybe 25 minutes and you're good to go. You don't have to remember to take something later on in the day. You've actually given your body and your gut, because you got to remember our gut, what do we always say? The gut is the second brain of our body, right? You've just fueled your body with what it actually needs to be fueled for the day and the night, and including the great rest you get. We're going to talk about that next week as well.
Yes. And on this Labor Day weekend, as you're going out and about, think of those cravings. Are you craving sugar? What are you craving? Give yourself some TLC. And on that note, we will obviously be back on, we're going to be on Monday, right?
We are, because because a lot of people, when they hear about Labor Day, they don't really understand the concept. And it really is, it's the celebration of the American worker. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we will have a guest on that's actually going to talk about the opportunity with our company. American worker, Labor Day, perfect fit.
Oh my God, love it. So on that note, my name is Janis, AKA Wellness Diva 5.0. Have an amazing, safe weekend. Give yourself some TLC. And I am with TwoSistas,
and this is Carol Sue, AKA Naughty Boss, about to get her Labor Day weekend going, getting ready for a pickleball university. We are having a huge Labor Day picnic tomorrow, cookout. I'm doing that preparation and a much needed hair appointment, and just going to get my Friday on. But remember, Fantabulous Friday is about celebrating you, celebrating your wins, celebrating that you joined with us today and learned something about vitamins. With that, we will see you Monday for Labor Day. Everyone have a safe weekend. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.